Well, we're 1 year on from the October 2013 bushfires. The single greatest challenge faced by the city and the council. We're all well acquainted with the circumstances of October 2013 in the Blue Mountains, and it touched 3 corners of our city with such devastating effects. Suffice it to say, it was an unprecedented natural disaster in the Blue Mountains and indeed in New South Wales. No one knows these circumstances better than the residents who survived the experience we talk about today, and indeed our emergency services personnel who attended on that dreadful day and indeed attended in the weeks that followed. To you all, I extend a welcome. The purpose of this presentation is not to recap the horror of the bushfires. Rather, this recognition event provides an opportunity to acknowledge the impact of the 2013 bushfires, to mark the process of recovery, to thank the many organisations and individuals who played crucial roles in the recovery efforts, and to honour the resilience of the affected communities. I want to be clear from the outset that while we are physically present in Springwood, the hub of the fire that affected communities perhaps in the most profound way in terms of sheer numbers, everything spoken here today is addressed to those impacted by the 3 bushfires involving the Blue Mountains. And we do not forget, not for 1 minute, our fellow residents in Mount Victoria, Mount Wilson and Mount Irvine in the upper Blue Mountains, who also experienced the devastating bushfires in which 9 homes were destroyed and many others significantly damaged. As Mayor, I am forever grateful that we are not in the unenviable position today of remembering lives lost in the Blue Mountains bushfires. Having said that, we are right to ask, what did our community lose? In our case, it is not the lives of family and friends, nor emergency services personnel, but almost 200 homes and everything they represent. History, meaning, attachment, experiences, identity. More broadly, it is the loss of things like sense of place and our neighbours. We acknowledge this loss today. Anniversaries can elicit mixed emotions. They are a powerful reminder of how hard it is and how long it takes for individuals and communities to recover from devastating natural disasters. And when I say recover, I mean it not only in the physical sense, but in the human sense, as we pick up our lives and look to the future. There are many positive signs of community recovery. The rebuilding of homes, re-establishing of household and community routine, regeneration of the bush. Of course, these are not the sum total of recovery, but I think they might be a good foundation. I look at this 1 year journey, not as an end, rather as a milestone. The journey isn't over, we're still on it. To mark the process of recovery over time, it is Council's intention to dedicate a place of remembrance, to honour the memory and the resilience of the affected communities. We envisage this dedication to be a simple, natural landscape setting which encourages a sense of peace and reflection, located in a place that would tie in with restoration of bushfire affected areas, inclusive and acceptable accessible to the whole community, and enduring, and have the capacity to serve future recognition events. We will progress this in coming weeks. Where do we begin to catalogue the many organisations and individuals who played and continue to play crucial roles in the recovery efforts? I am humbled to live in a community, a nation, in which the number of contributors is too great to list by name. Instead, I pay tribute to every emergency services worker, every community worker, every member of government, every council worker, every committee member, every charity, every volunteer, every business, every teacher, every donor, every member, everyone who has made a difference to bushfire affected residents in the City of Blue Mountains. The community response has been quite clearly to extend the hand of friendship, of empathy and giving. Expressions of sympathy have also been accompanied by offers of practical help. And I have to say, if you've witnessed it, this help is usually done with humour and humility. The goodwill we have witnessed since the bushfires, and indeed continue to witness, is, I think, an expression of our common humanity. The community spirit we have seen is incredible. And I know I speak for many, indeed perhaps for all, when I say it has changed us here in the mountains forever. Now, I'm proud that Council's played a significant role in enabling the bushfire affected communities to rebuild lives and homes, as has other levels of government. This is a unique and unprecedented role, though, for a local council, particularly of our size. But I am proud that Council's played a role in partnering with the other levels of government, and indeed with the community, to support your recovery. I'm proud that we've played a role in advocating for your needs, in advocating for your aspirations, and in advocating for the priorities of bushfire affected communities right across the Blue Mountains. Of the shared efforts in response to and recovery from the bushfires, I am most proud of the bushfire affected community, the very people impacted by the fires, whose resilience is quite simply inspiring. Recovering from a major disaster can be long, it can be complex, and it is always an emotional journey. The road to recovery is lengthy. It is important that residents know that recovering from a disaster is not a one-size-fits-all equation. What I wish for most for the residents who've experienced loss is for them to see the possibility of every day being the beginning of their future. And I think I can speak for us all when I say that our common resolve is to help support each of our residents and families to rebuild each of our communities. This will take time, will take effort, but you will not have to travel that hard journey alone. We have all of us, achieved and learned a great deal from this experience. This is evident in the emerging projects funded by the government, inspired by the community, and born from this learning. Creating a community space in Yellow Rock, building bushfire preparedness and networks in local neighbourhoods, developing a sustainable fire-related online community, creative arts and tourism initiatives, evaluating the effectiveness of bushfire risk communication, enhancing community connectedness, a Blue Mountains Bushfire Building Conference and Expo, renewing local communities and community education. There are more projects to come. We as a community can only be strengthened by this investment in our future resilience. Let there be no doubt. The collective efforts of Council, emergency services, governments and the broader recovery community to support bushfire affected residents will continue. And we are working to ensure that our learning from bushfire response and recovery holds us in good stead for all of our futures. I ask that, as a community, we are mindful and respectful of the needs of our bushfire affected residents at this time. Council, the recovery community and the Blue Mountains community have you all in our hearts and in our minds today.